Hey, welcome back to the breakdown. This is the Arizona Real Estate Trends and Lending Insights. I'm Joshua Young with JCM Lending,
And I'm Susan Bermudez, the real estate gal with eXp Realty.
and welcome back to our weekly update on Wednesdays. And happy Hump Day to all of you guys.
Okay, let's go, right, Josh? Another
Hey,
Wednesday, another
yeah.
informational session.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Susie, but I'm really looking forward to this hump day on the downtrend of the weekend. It's been a long week so far, but we're so glad you're all joining us again this week. And for our lending insight this week, I want to dive right into something that I keep hearing coming up, and it's really, really important. A lot of people come to me and say, "What's my down payment requirement?" And there's so much myth about this that I want to just throw this out there really quick. Please know that 20% down is a myth. You don't have to have 20% down for anything. There are benefits to putting 20% down. I'm not going to lie about that part of it, but it's not a requirement. And many people that have 20% down end up not doing that because of some of the other benefits. The key thing to know is that somebody like me, a lender, is going to build a strategy for you around the ideal down payment. And that's far more important, to be honest with you, than any myth that's are out there. Is find the right strategy for you. So what could some strategies be? Well, let's start at the very minimum. If you want to buy a home, but you haven't really been putting away a lot of money, there are loans out there called down payment assistance loans that will give you money towards the down payment. There's a lot of terms and conditions about these loans, but they're phenomenal loans for people that haven't put a lot of weight in savings. And if you kind of been in that rent role where you're just paying rent year after year, these are loans that will get you out of that in a hurry, and they're really great loans. From there, we transition to those people who've been putting away money for a little bit of time, but they think to themselves, like, I can't buy yet. I haven't saved enough. And please just know we have down payment options that offer 3% down, 3.5%, 5% down. These are low down payment options. And what's great is there are a lot of loans that have grants that go along with that. So, for example, my company offers a grant up to $4,000 on those low down payment options, which means that we can help pay a portion of that lower down payment as well. And then
And
for other
nobody
people,
even
like,
knows about those, Josh.
I
Those
don't think
grants,
people do.
nobody's,
Yeah.
they don't even know. So great information. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Well, so and then from there we just go up. If you're buying a second home or an investment home, the down payment requirements do tick up. But I circle back to what I said before. It's all about strategy. The ideal down payment is really going to be something that we work out together for your unique situation. So just know, from virtually none to I've got lots, should I put it all down? There's a strategy to be found. And reaching out to a professional like me is the way you do that. So that's the lending insight for this week. I hope that's valuable. And Susie, let's kick it over to you for what you've got.
Well, you know what, you guys, we're hitting the end of the year. And guess what? There's huge incentives. Now, last week, if you would have paid attention, you know that there's quite a few cities that are sitting in buyer's market. And guess what? They're still sitting there. So when we go tackle into the East Valley, like Surprise, and over here in Queen Creek and Santan, there is a ton of new builders that are building within these areas. But the great thing is, guys, is the crazy incentives they're giving right now. So we were just at a couple of new builds yesterday, and the cash advantages, they're giving cash discounts. So if you're a cash buyer or an investor, that's the way to go. Now, most of these places have home builders have homes that are available actually as early as this month and in January for closing.
Wow.
So it's just crazy insane. And the amount of incentives on top of that, even if you're not a cash buyer, looking at one that they're giving $15,000 cash incentives
Seriously?
plus yeah. And you know what,
Wow.
Josh? 4.99% interest. And then the second year, it's 5.25 locked for 30 years. Can you touch that rate right now?
To be honest with you, that's not a market rate. So it goes to show the builders are really motivated to move that inventory, and that's an awesome product.
I know. So you guys, if you're seriously looking for something and maybe those high interest rates and those strategies that he's working with, go into the new builds. Now, I want to make one thing clear. When you go into a new build, it's not just galligating into a new build and saying, I want to look at them without a real estate agent. We don't want to do that. So it doesn't cost you anything to bring in a real estate agent, but somebody as professional as I am, I know all the ins and outs of the new builds as well as just the regular market here. So we want to protect you guys as going into the new builds and everything. You don't know what you don't know. So this is why we have the professionals. So don't go into a new build without your real estate agent. Otherwise, they're not willing to work with us. And there's typically a reason why. So we just want to say, hey, if you guys want a home, get into the new builds, figure it out, give me a call, and I'll let you know all the different lenders. There's so many to go through. I can't do it right now. But if this is useful, guys, Why don't you like, subscribe to the channel, give me a call. I'll give you all the builders' informations and who's doing what at this time. So it's a little crazy right now, but we appreciate you guys tuning into us every week. I hope this was useful information. We'll see you next week. I'm Susan Bermudez, and we have the famous Joshua Young with JCM Lending, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great one.